Hey guys, this is Tina Amini with Kotaku, and we're taking a look at Borderlands 2 that came out in North America today. And I wanted to give you a little peek at my character, Maya. She's a siren. And these are my elemental-based weapons. Elemental-based weapons are preferable because they work a lot better on the enemies in this game. And you can see my shields and my other class mods, including a grenade mod, in there too. And in a second, we're going to transition over to my skill tree. I decided to make Maya much more of a damaging character, but if you wanted to, you could make her more of a healer class. So you could do things like shoot your friends to give them health, or phase lock an enemy that drains their health and sends it over to you. But you'll look at mine that I chose to go for options that would give you more elemental damage instead of a healer character, which I tried in the beginning, but I felt like I needed to do a little bit more damage to enemies. So now we're looking at tokens, which you can earn by completing challenges. Challenges were something that were in the first Borderlands, but these actually give you bonus stats that are permanent to your character. So you can see me cycling through 5 options that rotate for each token. So this is the part of the beginning of the game. It's one of the first longest missions that you'll encounter, but we're in New Game Plus mode right now, just so you can get a better idea of what combat might be like. And I'm using my fire pistol, which besides being incredibly awesome, as you can see, is also very, very pretty. A lot of the guns are just as stylish as that. So I'm kind of hiding back a little bit so I don't aggro too many enemies here. But you'll be able to see, once I get into the thick of it, how chaotic it can get. I especially like the visuals that you see on screen, like if your shield breaks, you can see it shattering, and that right there is me gaining second wind, fighting for my life at the end. And that's what it looks like when you level up, and that's me getting fed up with that enemy and phase locking him. So loot can be found in lots of places, but none is more interesting than an outhouse with a smiley face smudged into this toilet seat cover. And don't you just love that squishy noise? I'm really glad that I know for sure there was poop in there. There's some barrels with elements in them around Pandora that if you shoot at the right time, you can see enemies go flying with it, like this guy right here. So now let's look at some sniping. I wanted to show off the electricity damage that's on my sniper rifle. And it's kind of cool. It makes them look kind of like Blanca / Beast because it kind of looks furry. I mean, it totally looks furry, right? It's like a furry Blanca Beast thing. Regardless, my sniper rifle kind of ran out of ammunition often, even when the clip was fully upgraded. And you can see I only go through a couple enemies before that happens. Now we're in Sanctuary. It's the hub city where the citizens of Pandora have a bit of a safe haven. You can talk to the citizens and they'll recognize that you're a vault hunter and make cute little comments. And now let's go look at some NPCs. You might recognize a few of them from the first game if you played that one. Here's Marcus, he's an arms dealer. And this is Patricia Tanis, who you interact with in both the first game and the second game, and she sends you on lots of quests.
Have you completed your task yet?
Upstairs is also your bank. You can upgrade this one as well by spending Iridium points, which I'll explain in a little bit. Well, let's go head over to Dr. Zed. Now, he's not technically a doctor, so that might explain the lack of sanitation you see around here. I really haven't been to a doctor's office yet where there's been blood splatter on the walls. You'll remember him from the zombie DLC from the first game.
Sorry, I got nothing.
Now there's another bank-like feature that you can get through a mission with Claptrap. And this one's actually pretty cool because it's a stash that you can share with your other characters that you make in the game.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's my half-assed high five to Claptrap. He's so lonely. And here's that stash. So one thing I really like about the new game is that there's no fall damage anymore. So I've been jumping off cliffs pretty much left or right. This isn't the biggest jump, but it just reminded me of that. And that's Scooter, who you'll remember from the Catch a Ride system. Over here, you can customize your character from everything from the head skin to the full body skin. There's one that I'm not going to show you. You can just do quests and figure it out. Over there is a message board. You can grab some quests. But over here is the black market where you spend those iridium points for upgrades. You won't see all of them here because I've maxed out a lot of them, but you can upgrade your clips in your bank. And over in this direction is Mad Moxie, who you might remember from the basically Horde Mode DLC from the first game. And she's sporting a purple outfit instead of a red one, so I kind of can't wait to see the purple Moxie cosplayers. Also, something to note is that if you can tip her, and if you tip her over 10 grand, you'll get an achievement for it, so that's kind of cool. And right over here is Hammerlock, who you meet early on in the game. He gives you lots of quests in the beginning, and you'll find him here for more quests. There's also a bunch of echo recordings around Sanctuary that give you some background and history. You can find them all around. So now let's go look at some other enemies that you fight in the game. This is Caustic Caverns. And you'll see in the distance there the Varkids. They're these little bugs that are pretty much the only fodder enemy you'll get. But they can burrow into the ground and turn into adult or even badass versions of themselves. So you'll probably have to take them out pretty quickly. Unless you want to have a swarm of badass Varkids on you. Then there are enemies called Crystalisks. They can throw crystals at you that explode, and it's pretty terrible because it'll take my shield down more often than not. And to take them down, you have to hit the crystals on their legs. It's a little tricky sometimes because you have to get behind them, but it's easier when you've got co-op partners with you. I also really love picking up the loot that they drop, the gold. It makes the most satisfying sound ever. Just wait for it.
Bitches!
See the difference between that and that? So the only problem with Crystalisks, okay, one of the problems with Crystalisks is that when they die, they do this really dramatic final moment where they explode. Sometimes that can take your shields and your health down. There's also a bunch of acid surrounding the area, and if you fall into it, you can burn pretty badly. I think in about a second you'll see me fall in by accident, and it basically completely blinds me. There we go. And there's that explosion. Now let's head over and see some threshers. Cool thing about them is that they can dig underground and then pop right back up next to you. A couple of them have other moves though, so let's go take a look. There's a slag thresher. It'll do some slag damage, which is basically just a purple smoky effect. I like to watch enemies kind of fight amongst themselves sometimes though, because it gives me time to deal with other threats, like this wormhole thresher who will warp you towards it. Now the thing to note here is that I'm no longer in New Game Plus. That's why these enemies are going down pretty quickly. So you just saw some pods that a baby Varkid burrowed into and created that to turn into an adult Varkid, and later they turn into a badass Varkid. And there's the badass pod. And of course there are vehicles in Borderlands 2. So this one is the lighter vehicle, it's a lot faster. But the Bandit Technical can hold up to 4 characters, so that's more convenient if you want to gather everyone up. You can choose from 2 different kinds of weapon attachments to your vehicle, and from an assortment of paint jobs as well. These guys over here are called Stalkers, and they can teleport short distances to attack you from other places. Unfortunately for them, I have saw blades on my vehicle. You really can't beat my saw blades. Also, they're kind of lower level than me, but mainly saw blades. Now I want to show you what a kind of typical bandit fight will be like. This guy over here is really interesting, the Nomad Torturer. If you can shoot those cables off of his shield, releasing the midget will go and attack his captor. Unfortunately, I'm a little too high-powered, so I kill everyone off too easily. You can hear buzzards overhead, and they're typically a lot harder to take down, especially with this weapon that I've got equipped right now. But my phase lock ability takes them down with one hit. That's just based off of where my level is at right now and where their level is at. This guy's special. He's a Goliath, and if you shoot his helmet off, he'll get enraged. Unfortunately, I kill him too quickly, but you can see what his head looks like. Very, very pretty. Pretty head. Very pretty. So here he is with his helmet shot off and that weird shrunken head thing growing out of it. You can get him to attack his bandit friends if he's close enough to them. And the more kills he gets, he'll evolve through 4 stages. And the cool thing about that is if you kill a Goliath after his 4th stage of evolution, you'll get an achievement. Mechs are Handsome Jack's biggest weapons. There are a couple here that you won't see, like mechs that have flamethrowers. And there's a big constructor guy who's really hard to take down, and he'll keep constructing new mechs for you to attack. Those guys flying up in the air are repair units. Probably best you take them out earliest, because they'll start repairing the mechs that you've been shooting at. This guy's charging at me now to try to suicide bomb me with an EMP blast. I get kind of fed up though, so I just run him over. The last thing I want to show you are bullymongs. They're like these big monkey-like creatures. There's one that typically lives right over here, and his name is King Mong. I've killed him a few times. But if you can find Donkey Mong, which I haven't yet, if you kill him, you get an achievement for it. And that's it for your really basic look at what it's like to play Borderlands, which is out today in North America, and have fun vault hunting.